Welcome to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go, a look at modern and retro games with a dark sense of humor. Introducing your hosts, Steve.
Well, I'm a wreck now.
Harry.
Put it in my mouth.
Clark.
That man had one testicle and hit home runs, goddammit.
And Joe.
This went off the rails very quickly.
Let's start the show.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast.
Go.
All right, so tonight I'll be your host, Joe. To my left I have Clark.
No worm-ridden son of a bitch is gonna stop us.
Oh, fuck.
Again, I'll be your host tonight, Joe. You ever wonder where the expression shooting fish in a barrel came from?
Fuck!
I mean, did someone actually do that? And then was like going around town saying, hey, I was shooting those fish in a barrel, and you know what? I hit everyone. Easier than you'd think. Then our boy passes into legend, but the phrase shooting fish in a barrel remains. I wonder what he was using to shoot them. I mean, a shotgun would have destroyed the barrel, and a pistol would have been too fiddly. I mean, come on. You guys never wondered that? Across from the table, I have Harry.
Only thing straight around here is how the crow flies.
Okay, Hoffman.
That's Jim.
Mine was Hoffman.
Also across the table from me, I have Steve.
Shit, and people wonder why they don't trust the government. More Jim.
So we have Jim. Was yours?
Holly.
Yours was Holly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you didn't figure it out, we are going to be discussing Back for Blood.
Back number 4 blood.
Left 4 Dead 3.
Dead but not left.
But
That's right.
yeah.
Left for Blood 3.
What?
All right. Before we get into our initial impressions, this episode is brought to you by Deep Creek Glassworks.
Deep Creek Glassworks.
So it's that holiday season, just around the corner. I would probably order sooner rather than later if any gifts that you're thinking of would be nice.
Yeah.
Like any ornaments or tchotchkes or little items. Little
Pendants. Yeah, tchotchkes. Not too far off.
Trinkets.
Trinkets.
Yeah, same thing. Same.
Beads.
But now is the best time. Order now. You can use our code SUPERFUN and get 10% off. And it'll come in a crush-resistant box that will be perfect to hand to a significant other or a family member.
Yeah, not to mention free shipping. Free shipping. Shipping. Oh, fuck. Visit deepcreekglassworks.com. Works spelled W-O-R-X. That's how you do fucking
Tanner gets his money's
there.
worth from
Yeah.
us. 100%. 100% of the time.
100%.
All right, so let's move into initial impressions.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hit it!
Steve?
I was very much excited because as soon as like any news of this popped up, it was in our Discord like right away. So watching this game kind of come together, and then I think one or two of you got in to like play some of the alpha like early on, and then just getting some insight just hyped it up a little more, and then I was able to get into the beta that hyped it up a little bit more, and yeah, fucking right. I've missed the Left 4 Dead genre like for quite some time now for not owning Xboxes. So fuck yeah, here we go.
All right, Clark?
Yeah, I heard like super early on when Turtle Rock was like, hey, we're developing another game. And I immediately was like, oh my God, I hope it's Left 4 Dead 3. Didn't end up being Left 4 Dead 3, ended up being Back for Blood, and I've just been on the hype train ever since. Got to play in the alpha a little bit, got to play in the beta, and it is just awesome to be back in that style of game, like Steve said. Like, it's just been fun to have this kind of game in the rotation for, like, the friend group.
Yeah, friends.
Harry?
Friends.
Bless you. Jesus.
Sorry. I'm kind of in a similar boat. I think the first Left 4 Dead was the first 10 I gave on the show, if I'm not mistaken. So
Probably right.
Probably.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any surprise. I kind of like the franchise, and this is very, very similar in a lot of different ways, and it sets itself apart as well. But just that whole zombie co-op shooter thing, like this company really knows how to design that type of game. So, I played the beta a bit, so I had a little bit of an early access to this. Yeah, I think that's about it on initial impressions.
Very nice. So for me, I played not as much Left 4 Dead as the rest of the group. Mostly because of when it came out, I was stationed overseas. I would play occasionally with you guys. Definitely enjoyed it, but due to the time difference, playing with randoms wasn't as fun. Mm-hmm. But I definitely enjoyed the game. That being said, I've also been trying to find a game to fill that niche for years. One of the games that did that for me was a game called Killing Floor, which is actually way closer to Back 4 Blood than it is Left 4 Dead. But so I used to play that a lot, and then when they announced this game, it was immediately okay, Steam wishlist, notify me as soon as it goes on sale because I'm buying it. Very much pumped for this game. Played in the alpha, played in the beta, was very excited for it. What I saw progressing from alpha and beta and what they fixed and things like that, which goes a long way as far as telling what a developer is actually working on and things like that and recognizing community feedback. So that's always nice to see too. So I was very excited for this game to launch.
Dig it.
All right. Let's throw a Molotov and charge our way into game development.
Game development.
So there's actually very little about this game that I could find online for the game development. They kept it very secret until they did an actual announcement. So they initially announced this game in March of 2009. No, let me back up a little bit. Clark had mentioned that it was done by Turtle Rock Studios, who were actually basically all the original guys that worked for Valve when Left 4 Dead came out.
Yes.
So once they left Valve, they didn't work on Left 4 Dead 2.
Right.
And then they made Turtle Rock Studios. So that's why everyone was very excited that Turtle Rock had announced, was working on a major project, essentially.
Well, Turtle Rock had done one other game, I believe, in between.
Okay.
It was Evolve.
Oh.
They worked on
That
Evolve.
smash hit.
I thought Evolve was a lot of fun.
It was. It was a lot of fun. They made some stupid moves.
This is gonna. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later, but yes, they Turtle Rock Studios ran Evolve, which was a game with a lot of promise and a fun premise, into the ground after 3 updates.
I don't even
just completely destroyed the game.
It was a month, and you couldn't even find a match in that game anymore.
Yeah, and then 2 months later, it was free to play.
Yeah,
it got real bad.
Interesting. I didn't realize that was them.
Are their servers still up for Evolve?
There's no way.
I don't think so.
That was
doubt
8 years ago. That was an early PS4 game.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, that was the first game I bought.
Oh.
For PS4.
You came over to my house and saw it, and you were like, "I have to get this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was. Yeah.
So the game was announced in March 2019, and then it was launched on October 12th, 2021. So to date, the game has already surpassed 6 million unique players. To be fair, a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's a free game on Xbox Game Pass for PC and Xbox.
Oh.
So that's going to fluff up the numbers quite a bit just for people downloading and for free to check it out the first time.
Yeah.
So you can kind of take those numbers with a grain of salt. An eye-opening number, though, that I saw when it launched on PC, so Steam actually does very good tracking for player counts and things like that. When it launched on Steam, from what I could gather, it only maxed out at like 60,000 people, which is very surprising.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty low. That's a lot lower than I would imagined.
Yeah, so concurrently on Steam at any given time in the past like 24 hours, it's averaging like 5,000 people.
Huh.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty surprising for it to be dropping off like that already. And I think that has to do with some of the things that are going on with the game, but we can talk about later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I could find for like game development and launch details and things like that. Does anybody else have anything to add?
Negative.
No, one thing that I want to say about the development of this is, unlike Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, this game is essentially going to be a live service game, meaning that once you beat the game and once you do the Swarm, if you're there for story and new content, it is not in this game. So you're waiting on updates and things like that. Like, it's going to be like Destiny, where you can grind it and you can progress certain stuff, but they're slated to have, more updates and new content and things like that. It is a live service game. It is not a full complete game as of right now.
Yeah, and they did already announce like their roadmap for the fall and spring.
Yes,
which is
they have their roadmap out there. They were pretty heavily pushing like, hey, get the year one pass. Like, we're definitely going to make it worth it. And if they deliver on all the things, it's definitely like pretty much a new campaign or a new act and a bunch of new stuff and a new game mode and things like that. So they're going to be delivering on a lot of that stuff, hopefully.
Yeah, new cards and
new cards, things like that.
They're not going to release the act in pieces, are they?
They haven't really detailed any of that stuff out.
They haven't really.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and...
That's how Joe died.
Yep, that's how I died.
Let's meth head our way into story.
Let's sneak up behind one of our friends and throw a grenade at them in the practice range.
Into story.
Into story.
Story.
Got him.
Fucking got him. Fucking got him.
Oh, it's always fun taking each other out in the practice range.
So the story. Story is very kind of loosey-goosey in these types of games. There is a lot of story there, but it is not like...
Easily accessible.
Right. There's no clear storytelling, if that makes sense.
You
There's
get
a
like
bunch
bits
of-
and pieces.
Yeah,
Right.
there's cutscenes. The cutscenes are kind of disjointed in actually like laying down the groundwork for an actual story. The cutscenes are mostly like, hey, here's the transition from Act 1 to Act 2.
Yeah, you're going from this area to this area now.
Yeah, and there's like some weak dialogue and that's about it.
But how did this happen? Yeah.
That general guy is fucking...
No, he's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, he. Okay, so we're gonna jump around a little bit here because I gotta get this off my chest.
Oh, shit.
He seems fucking shady.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like he seems like he knows something and he's super hiding it. Like
Oh, he is.
Like depending on who you're playing, so jumping around a little bit, depending on who you're playing, kind of realizes what's happening in the story with everybody else in the group. Like you don't learn certain things without playing certain characters, while also having specific other characters in your party. That's how you really learn the story. It's just when you progress through the level, listen to the banter. I learned way more that way than through the cutscenes or anything else.
Like Hoffman seems to be the sergeant's right-hand man.
Yeah.
There's this whole exchange where he's just like,
Doc is super like, I'm going to keep my eye on you. Like what the fuck is going on here kind of with him.
And
like, it's very weird.
well, there's a whole exchange between the sergeant and Hoffman, and he's like, Hoffman, we're on a private channel. He's like, I need you to be my eyes and ears down there.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to tell me everything that happens. And shit like that. It's like, so...
What's really going on?
Yeah, exactly.
there's some other stuff going on in the group of cleaners, because that's what all the main characters
they're all
are. They're a
janitors.
group of cleaners, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's very interesting to like I'm really curious what his deal is.
Yeah.
Wonder if you'll find out in like other acts that get released and whatnot then.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to have to be something with the sergeant at some point.
Yeah.
He's too shady. You don't build up a character like that for no payoff.
Totally was the
Right.
government who started all this.
It was the government that
Absolutely.
started
It's always
all
the
of
fucking
this.
government.
That's really weird though, because like Hoffman is kind of his right hand man, but Hoffman is very like
Conspiracy
Anti-government
man.
and
Yeah,
conspiracy
he's like
theorist,
way on
yeah.
the other end.
yeah, he's always talking about like aliens and like shit like that.
He's fucking out there.
You mean someone that's shady and power hungry is also in league with like a bunch of conspiracy
Jesus
theory
Christ.
nuts?
Maybe
That's weird.
Maybe it's an act. Maybe he's trying to let the other ones let their guard down to get some more information for the sergeant.
Okay, Hoffman, Jesus.
Oh shit.
All right, Hoffman. Yeah, you settle out there, bud.
He can't be trusted. Pointing at Harry
Yeah.
for the listeners so they know.
So yeah, like loosely, basically, you start out as a bunch of cleaners. You know, you get to pick your character or whatever, and you progress through the acts. You save people in town. You kind of go through and you try to, you get weapons from police stations, trying to collect resources and stuff like that for Fort Hope, which is your base of operations essentially. And it's the difference here between like the story of this and this quote unquote story of Left 4 Dead is like Left 4 Dead is like you're just trying to survive and you're trying to get out.
Yep.
Whereas this game is you're trying to survive, but you're also doing like active work.
Yeah,
like
you have
are
objectives.
you are intently leaving the base to go execute a task and come back.
And save people along the way, which is like a contentious thing sometimes.
Right.
As it seems anyway, depending on who you're playing. There's that one mission where you have to like save the whole apartment full of people.
Yeah.
And the sergeant's like, "Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like we have enough hungry mouths here." Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and then you progress through the game and there's obviously like, you come across different mutants and things like that we'll talk about later. And then at the end of the game you find like this giant fucking worm.
Well, before you get to that, we should mention there was like this science lab out in this like one farmhouse where this guy found a chemical agent
Oh, right.
that weakens
oh right, the T13.
something like
T-virus.
that. It's a
It's the T virus.
Basically.
but it does weaken them so that you can easily take them down.
New survivor Chris Redfield
Yeah.
confirmed.
Sidetrack. They're doing a Dead by Daylight thing, right?
With Resident Evil.
With Resident Evil?
With Back 4 Blood.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
No, what?
Yeah, on the roadmap there's the Dead by Daylight symbol in a shadow.
Oh, I don't know that that's the Dead by Daylight symbol. It looks like it, but it's
It
not.
wouldn't surprise me.
It doesn't have the skulls and stuff.
Anyways, so yeah, you're good point. You come across a scientist.
I think that's like a big turning point in the
yeah,
game.
and I
You're
think
a
the
big
other
turning
kind
point in
of
the game.
interesting. There's a couple of interesting ones. The next one to me would be like where like you're at a prison, which was turned into like a research facility,
Yes.
Oh yeah, yep.
which obviously did not go well. And then at the end, also like right after that is when you find like all the corpses piled up, where they start to mutate into like larger things.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah. It is kind of interesting. Like, again, you don't really get a whole lot of details on these things.
Yeah.
They're just like things you observe. And again, if you're a random person running through these environments, you wouldn't get a lot of details.
Yeah. You'd just be like, oh my God, there's like a fuck ton of bodies just all piled up in this one area.
Right.
What the fuck?
And your characters like make assumptions along the way, but like
Yeah.
you're not gonna know. You
Exactly.
don't even know that. Like, you just stumble upon it.
That one doctor that explains like the T13 or whatever virus, and like the sea of bodies at one point, where they're like talking about like the human element of that, is like pretty like fucking crazy. Where they're just like, yeah, like we probably made this a lot worse by like really fucking around and not taking this seriously.
Yeah, by not like disposing of bodies properly and shit like that. Yeah,
they're like, yeah, we just made a giant fucking breeding ground for all of this shit.
Yeah. Fuck around and find out. Oh my god, it's killing everything.
Yeah.
Oops.
So yeah, I guess, and then that's pretty much the end of the game. Right after that point.
Yeah, and you fight the giant fucking worm thing.
Yeah, you fight the giant worm thing.
The abomination.
Yeah,
I
the abomination.
can make a prediction for the next expansion. I know it's not out. I just want to make a prediction
That they're going through the tunnels.
Yeah, but like it's to like find the cause, like because again, I know you guys mentioned they don't have like a what started all of this kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think like let's follow this worm tunnel to the source of where it came from, and maybe they'll find more information on like what the cause could have been.
It's gonna be that
Well, none of them are scientists, so I don't think they're going to be able to figure out the cause themselves.
No, but maybe we come across a new cleaner that is.
Maybe.
What?
There are 2 new cleaners coming down the pipeline eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe one is I know everything man. And as soon as you play as him, he just tells you everything right off the bat. And you're like, all right, cool. I can shut the game off now. I'm fucking done.
Like Abraham from Walking Dead for 3 volumes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, so the end of the game is obviously just like Walker being like, I'm ready to go get more of these motherfuckers. And everybody's like, you're kind of an idiot. And he's like, I'm not doing it alone.
It's like, you're fucking coming with me.
Yeah, I kind of think they're going to lean more into going that direction and taking out more of the
abominations.
Like trying to track and locate them and go to... I think that would be interesting because it would allow them to kind of make for some more exotic locations in an act. Like, oh, we're going to this like island, or oh, we're going to the, like
we can go to the beach.
But it like takes place in like
Pennsylvania.
Like Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, most of this one does, but we know they have helicopters. We know they have
that's true.
Travel, like
That's true.
They do mention Evansburg at one point, right?
Yeah.
Like
Evansburg State Park?
Yeah. Okay. I thought they did. And I was like, is that like, are they talking about the Evansburg I know? But like, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It just, it's...
I mean, there's like mentions of like Philly in there. There's, isn't there a sign for Intercourse? I think there's like a sign for Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
There might be. You pick up hints of it every now and then, though.
This happens in our back fucking yard, guys.
Yeah, I knew it.
Any other points to the story anybody wants to touch on? Like I said, we kind of jumped around. There's not a whole lot like to discuss.
Yeah, it's not
this is a gameplay heavy episode, I feel like.
Yeah.
We gave you as much story as you're really going to get. If you want more, just go fucking find it.
I wouldn't mind if they like
I said, I've
put more
been,
of a focus on the story.
I've been actively trying to pay attention to way more of the dialogue, and it's definitely making it way more interesting.
Okay.
So like I always suggest doing that, but there's so many variables to that it's just very difficult to do.
Yeah.
So
I have been trying to make an effort to play a shit ton of different characters though.
yeah.
So I have like a build almost for every single character at this point.
I think
So
wow.
I honestly I don't think I've ever played Mom yet. Still.
I'd rather play Doc every time, like when I play a healer build. So I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get in the safe room and move into gameplay.
Gameplay.
Where do you start on this?
There's not much here for that.
Yeah, I think
I
we
say
should probably
we-
just move right into graphics.
Yeah. So I say we start discussing characters first,
Okay.
and then we can kind of move into the other elements of the game. Because I think, to me, the real differentiating factor from this game versus other games like it, like Left 4 Dead or Killing Floor, are the character classes.
Yeah, and there's about, what was it, like 10 characters?
Eight characters.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
eight cleaners. They all have unique perks and abilities. So they all kind of have their role. You can play them out of their role a little bit, or kind of, move their role in certain directions based on what you do. But yeah, so there's 8 distinct characters and their classes, whether that be melee builds, kind of like your sniper class or weak spot damage guys, your healers, your what are kind of the generic
Just generic damage dealing.
Yeah, there's like
Or support.
your support
Support,
class,
yeah.
So and then there's like hybrid classes too.
I don't know if there's really hybrid classes.
I would say Evangelo is kind of hybrid.
I don't think these classes in this game are very rigid. Would be my first
No,
argument.
No, it is loose.
it's mostly the deck. You can make a deck that's like S tier for any type of role that you want to play, and it will work with any any character. But if you just want it to be like S tier plus, you have to have one of 2 characters typically
SS?
for each type
Yeah.
of deck. Yeah, like if you're gonna run a healer build and you're not running Mom or Doc, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still do it, and it'll
Yeah.
be totally viable. It's just you're not maximizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even then you can kind of tweak the deck. Like Doc is better with like the healing, whereas Mom's just like an absolute revive monster.
Yeah,
Right.
And stuff like that. Like it kind of breaks down like that. Like Hoffman's like support character / like damage dealing class. Same with Jim, like sniper, damage dealer. Item slot,
Yeah.
team item slot guys. You have Holly and Evangelo, who are like mostly the melee builds because they start with a melee weapon. Like it just builds and builds on that.
interesting though, because his like perk is just stamina. And,
Yeah,
like,
but
his-
you-
but
you
it
need
allows
that
you to
for-
swing more.
Yeah.
Than,
Yeah.
Right, but his individual thing is like is the get out of jail free card basically. Like
which is
like
also yeah.
the stun gun. It's like a permanent stun gun. that you
Yeah,
just keep using.
you absolutely
Which-
want that though for melee builds specifically.
I found it to be super like I know Holly seems to be like the go-to melee person, but like when somebody picks Holly and I have to pick Evangelo, I'm like, this maybe should be my go-to person sometime. Like I that's the way I like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
there-
I've been rolling stun guns so much more frequently. Like not to move
stun guns
into
and
other
flash
stuff, but
grenades
yeah.
are like top tier things to take.
Yeah,
top
but
tier
They're
items.
so underused too. But
Well, everybody would look at it as like, oh, well, it's like a flashbang. Why would I just have something flash when I could have something explode?
yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
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 I mean, we good on characters. I think you
Well-
get the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anybody we didn't mention? Marcus?
Carly.
Marcus.
Not Marcus. Walker
Yeah, I mentioned
God.
him.
Oh God.
and Carly.
Yeah.
Carly's another support. Carly and Hoffman.
Yeah,
are
I don't
kind
need.
of like support.
I think I play her just the
She's
same
amazing.
amount as Mom.
Yeah, Carly's like my go-to.
That I see that
Yeah.
Joe playing Carly the most.
Carly's awesome because she has 50% use speed bonus.
Yep.
And use speed applies to basically everything. Mm-hmm. It applies to healing items, revives, barricading windows or doors. Like, it's a lot of stuff.
And
Like,
she starts with a toolkit. That's so
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, wow.
she starts with a toolkit. Yep.
Yeah. It's like if
Especially for Act 3, that's really huge.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, most any act.
Any act like
when
you just
you
like
start an act on any act, there's a toolkit door in every level.
Oh, so you get a free kit every level. It's not just
just when you start.
Okay.
But you can't afford one right away.
Yeah.
right.
So just having one to start that first level is huge. But yeah, I say we move into cards then. Kind of the crux of the game, I think.
Sure.
So this is where it really differentiates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the unique feature.
Yeah,
Right.
from Left 4 Dead is where there's an actual like card buff system in place.
So it's really is a deck building game, where like the first level of each act, Act 1 you get 1 card. The first level of Act 2 you get 2 cards. The first level of Act 3 you get 3 cards. And then every level you basically draw 5 cards. They're in a specific order, whichever order you pick. But of that 5-card draw, you get to pick one card to add to your deck. That gives you modifiers of damage or additional item slots, depending on whether that damage be bullet damage, bullet penetration, grenade damage,
Speed,
so many
health,
things.
agility. Like it's you name it. If it's a part of this game, and there's a card out there for it.
Yeah.
Some really new money grubber, or you're just like pulling in fucking copper, which is like the currency to buy everything. Like
Yep.
that can be just ridiculous in being able to purchase a good amount of things like every round, as long as you're looking out for the copper. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is like the melee builds because they're just absolutely absurd. And like one of my favorite cards in the game is Meth Head because it allows you to just pretty much go absolutely ape shit for as long as you're hitting with the melee weapons.
So like for hordes and whatnot, you just keep swinging away.
Like if you like the combos that you can make, especially with melee, like melee is really fleshed out. They thought about it a lot. So you can have it so that every time you kill somebody, you can have like a different combination of cards that's like, so every time you kill somebody with a melee attack, you gain 2 health. Mm-hmm. And also you ramp your attack speed by 30%. And also you gain 30% melee stamina percentage usage
Jesus,
efficiency. And you do more damage to weak spots. And like it just ramps. And like Meth Head's like the crux of it all. It's just like the card that's like the catalyst for that entire build. But like the one time we went through that there's that one horde where like everything's coming at you during the jukebox.
Oh, right. Yeah. Barroom Blix.
Yeah. And I was just standing there and from the first hit, like the first melee hit till literally we were jumping in the Humvee, I never lost stamina. I was consistently killing anything that I touched because of all the stacks were just going off. It was absolutely insane. And I literally never took my finger off of the button. I swung one time and just consistently just kept swinging and swinging and swinging. Mm-hmm. Like it was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Melee builds are absurdly good.
Yeah. They actually like, it's kind of weird because it does feel like it's like the only build that's like super fleshed out, like where you can like basically put 15 cards in your deck because that's how many cards you can have. And basically have them all affect stamina and melee.
Yeah.
And like they came out and they were like, yeah, that wasn't intentional. Like we kind of wanted every class to have their own thing and then also have melee cards. And they were like, everybody putting all the melee cards in one deck wasn't really what we intended.
But here it is.
Yeah. And then they nerfed some things.
Yeah, they nerfed it a little bit, not like drastically, but
it's noticeable. It is noticeable. It was
pretty OP though.
I was kind of bummed about it.
It was so powerful that I ran into an issue a lot of times where if 2 people had already chosen the 2 melee characters, people would just drop from the party. They'd be like, I don't want to play a different class.
Oh my god.
Like I was seeing that a lot.
Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I like playing I play dual primary basically a lot. Basically, there's a card that you can drop a secondary weapon and pick up an additional primary. It obviously causes debuffs and things like that. You know, obviously a bonus of that nature obviously has a penalty.
Yeah, there's a good amount of cards that have like, hey, this could be really beneficial for you, but you're gonna lose this.
Yeah.
Like there's some where it's like can't aim down sights. Wasn't there one that you can't sprint?
Yes.
Yeah. So Meth Head, you can't aim down sights, and Mean Drunk, which is the one that like stacks damage.
Oh
you
yeah,
can't sprint anymore.
That's the one. Yeah.
So no ADS and no sprinting means you are slower and you do get picked off a lot more in the melee build.
You
but
just have
you're
to pick
also,
up the one that there's one that increases your movement speed.
Yes, yeah, and that's what you do is like your topper.
Yeah.
At the end, yeah.
So yeah, I play that one a lot, and another one that I've actually just started playing a lot is a 100% accuracy build.
I've been interested in that. I'll be honest.
You get 100% accuracy, which basically just your crosshair is touching, right? So if you shoot a shotgun 100 meters, all the pellets are together in one slug.
Jesus Christ.
And you still get all the bonuses of all the pellets.
Yeah, I've seen somebody use the use that with the infinite secondary and using the Belgian.
Yeah.
And just sniping people from across the fucking map with the fucking Belgian handheld shotgun.
Now,
with mom. It's disgusting.
Stupid question, because I understand math, but I know some things are wonky in games. Can you go above 100%?
You can, and it goes negative.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if you have exactly 100% and then you pick up something that gains accuracy bonus, your crosshair widens.
Okay.
Or if like you have the card where you get bonus accuracy for crouching, your crosshair widens and your accuracy becomes worse.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want it to be that good? Fuck you.
Intentional or not, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, another unintentional thing, I think. 'Cause I have a feeling they didn't intend that. But I watched a video last night on splash damage with Molotovs. I don't know if you guys have read about this.
Mm-hmm.
You do more damage on the outskirts of it than you do the center of the fire. And you do even more damage, like
if they walk
exponential,
into the fire.
if they walk into an already lit flame.
Yeah.
Because this guy was like maximizing like a pyro build, and he was like, check this out.
Yeah, no, I did, because the other night, I forget who I was playing with, but we had to like kill an ogre, and I melted it with 2 Molotovs, because I did the pyro build.
Okay.
And he was like walking towards us, and I was like, one on the ground, he walked into it, and I just saw like almost half of his health go. And I was just like, okay, Molotov on the ground, he walked into it and just melted him.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that's another one of those things that was unintended.
I don't know. That might have been. Some of it maybe anyway.
You have a lot of options to kind of find where you want to go with these cards, definitely then.
Yeah, it's pretty refreshing that you can kind of play the way you want to play. I mean, we've mostly played recruit so far, some veteran. But you have to definitely be a little bit more diligent moving up in the levels. Yeah, it's nice to have the flexibility.
Yeah. Keep it flexible.
Flexibility.
Yeah, it's something you mentioned before, Joe.
Oh boy.
No, it's not a bad
Buckle
thing.
up.
They cater to certain builds more than others. Like, I think the melee build is very strong. I think
But unintentional.
Right.
Okay. I think the shotgun build is very strong. I think the dual primary weapon build is pretty strong. I think there's a lack of things that cater to specific to like submachine guns currently.
Assault rifles, LMGs, sniper rifles. Like
there are a couple cards, but that's when you have to be like, you play a lot of generic cards, which are actually better. Like, it's better to play the actual generic cards than it is, in most instances, than to play, like, the gun-specific ones.
Yeah, because they calculate damage in a really weird way, where it's like there's bullet damage and then bonus damage.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
So like, if you have 10% damage, and then 10% shotgun damage, it's multiplicative, right? Whereas if you just had 2 shotgun cards that are 10% each, it would be additive. So it behooves you to play different cards.
Right.
Variety is the spice of life.
So you can do the other builds; they're just not as straightforward. And in really digging into them, like the shotgun build, like if you play all the shotgun cards, you actually start doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
They're the most obvious ones, but
Well, how so?
by having all of your damage additive instead of multiplicative.
Oh,
you end up
gotcha.
doing so
Oh,
much
you
more
saying
damage.
like all shotgun? Gotcha.
Yeah, like one of the best like shotgun builds that you can do is pick your poison between the 2 that do the 10% damage, but then you do extra damage when you're when you have temporary health, and then every pellet that hits gives you temporary health. That stack together gives you a lot of damage, as opposed to having 3 cards that give you 10% extra shotgun damage, because that's only 30%, as opposed to the more that you can get out of that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Graphics? No, I'm kidding.
So outside of the cards, I mean, do you have like, favorite weapons that you like try to, or that you like hone into at all?
I find myself gravitating towards submachine guns.
Yeah,
mostly, kind of. Well, that's also because Evangelo is kind of like one of my go-tos.
He starts with one.
Yeah, and especially add in like the agility or like stamina and speed and whatnot.
You already move faster with submachine guns.
Yeah, so I just like to be like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, just kind of like quick in and out, move around to kind of keep ahead and around the horde, and especially if someone gets pinned or something, I want to be able to like rush over more quickly. So I tend to try to go more on like the speed side of things and enjoy the submachine guns for that.
Cool.
So if you can find a good vector, and
Vector's good.
You're pretty much set. Yeah. I'll say it is annoying when you come across a good gun and it has like a ×4 fucking scope on it. And you're like, all right, looks like I'm just hip firing for a while.
They really need to figure out a way that you can just remove attachments.
I get why you can't. I get why you can't.
Why?
Because it makes that decision that much harder to make.
Yeah.
Like, because if you could remove attachments, it would be one, you'd be waiting on people for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Every
Yes.
time you saw a gun in the middle of a round. That would be awful because you just get hounded towards somebody's like, oh, there's a fucking MP5 here. Let me drop all my attachments on the gun I have, pick up the MP5, and then pick all my attachments up. And it's like, no, like we need to keep moving.
Yeah.
Like it gets rid of that. And it like I said, it kind of, it doesn't penalize you, but it makes you think about that upgrade.
It's like, is it worth it?
Right.
To go through like this pain? Like, will I be able to use this as functional with
as
like
effectively
this
or
hindrance? Yeah, exactly.
The worst is when an AA-12 has a 4 times on it.
Any fucking shotgun with 4 times on it.
God.
I don't get. I hear so many complaints about shotguns with scopes. I just don't understand who's looking down the scope with a shotty.
I ABS almost all the time.
You can hip fire so well with shotguns in this game.
That's one of the reasons I started playing the
Accuracy
100% accuracy, because it eliminates aim down sights, to try and train myself into that.
Yeah.
Plus, as a not much Left 4 Dead player, Left 4 Dead you couldn't aim down sights. So anybody that played that religiously, I kind of get it. You're used to it.
Now, with the 4 times scope with like on SMGs and like assault rifles,
It's still not effective.
No, not really. But I find that I'm in and out of looking down sights just because that aim assist kind of really locks onto zombies.
Oh yeah, you just
very
have to like
quickly
tap the trigger
just
and fire mid aiming down.
Yeah, essentially, and that's usually how I kind of aim in this game.
It was ridiculous in the beta. You could just tap the trigger and it would be like lock on, lock on, lock on, lock on, lock on, and it would like you just like lock on everything as like
you could just pretty much alternate.
So broken.
You could just go L2 R2 just start clearing.
Yeah,
the screen.
and if you had like the Barrett, which is like instant kill for almost everything, you just tap like left trigger and then right trigger, kind of near something, and it would just lock on and kill it. Everything.
It's so bad.
You didn't have to aim at all.
So bad.
It's not nearly as bad now. There are some instances though where when you aim, it like fucking drags you.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of hurts.
It's like I wasn't necessarily looking in that direction, but I guess I am now.
Yeah.
Like when a zombie runs past you towards somebody else and you aim to go aim past that zombie, but your auto assist picks up and then you shoot your fucking friend because they're standing next to you. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I do that a lot anyway. I don't need the help of the aiming for that. Whoops.
I don't like what do they call them in this game?
Mutations?
Like the sniper rifles. I thought they had a specific term for them.
I think they call them sniper rifles.
Yeah, no, I know. I think there's a
marksman rifles.
Maybe that's it.
Well, they have the M1A and the Barrett, and those are like the only, and the ranch rifle.
Yes.
The ranch rifle's
ranch
fucking
rifle,
dope though.
I don't really like any of those. I've tried using a couple.
They have their
It just-
place.
Oh, where it's like
Yeah.
the single shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not my style.
Yeah.
So I really don't have much experience with them at all.
I never really gave any sniper rifles a shot. I don't know, just me personally, it just doesn't feel like that sort of game to be using that in. I could see where it really comes in handy for like, you know, the bigger mutations where it's like trying to pinpoint down on like a weak spot and really take them down quickly.
Yeah.
But like if I have like a giant horde coming to me and then just having click, 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 click. Like even though I know there's like ones that speed up, that seems like where you would really need like reload speed cards to like
Yeah.
make it go like.
It's the same reason I never played the sniper rifle in Left 4 Dead. It fell out of place.
But I could see if you have like stupid sick reload speed for a sniper rifle, then maybe.
Yeah. What I find it useful for, like having the Barrett, is just stumbling. Like just knocking mutations off balance, not necessarily killing them, but like fucking them up so they can't attack you.
Yeah.
Like so everybody else can focus fire and that kind of thing, is just super helpful.
Barrett's really good Act 4. Taking out the boss.
I can see that.
Well, yeah.
That's a big weak.
Weak spots
Spot
heavy.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mostly play, if I can, if it's not melee build, it's kind of in between shotguns or the M249,
Okay.
the LMG.
The
I
LMG,
fucking
yeah.
love that. That's like my go-to for the Act 4 as well. Just stack some weak spot damage and just go in there and taking out weak spots in a single clip with the machine gun, and then having or hoping for like faster reload clips and stuff like that
Yeah.
in the equipment. It's so good.
That's where admin reload comes in handy.
Yeah, admin reload would be awesome. I still don't have mine.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
I don't know if I could play an LMG without it now that
that
I have it.
So one of the things that I do, like I really like playing like the LMGs. But what I find myself kind of leaning towards, which is like really a happy medium between an M4 and an LMG, is the Scar. Like
Yeah, the Scar's good too.
the Scar has the punch of like a higher caliber weapon, but it doesn't have like the RPM like the LMG does. Like it's a very happy medium. And it doesn't have the ridiculous reload time.
Scars are kind of rare though.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
are.
like they're really hard to find.
You don't come across them
I
too
agree.
often at all.
Yeah. Pretty much whenever I see one, I'm like, yoink.
Yeah, I usually grab them too.
Yeah, it seems like if it's around, you just have to try. Hopefully, be the first one there to grab
Find
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not ping it.
I was like, no, this is mine. Fuck you.
But yeah, I mean, I pretty much play everything except for, like I said, I pick up a Barrett every now and then, but I have to like, I'm usually playing the dual primary, so it's not like a huge hindrance or whatever.
Yeah, still waiting to get that card.
But yeah, I mean, I like playing a Tech 9, infinite ammo, you know,
Oh, that's a good
full
one.
full automatic pistol with infinite ammo is fucking awesome. There's good ways to play that. Shotguns, obviously, rifles are great. Like there's a way to play everything, and I really enjoy most of them.
You're in on all that shit. Mostly all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I have almost every card now, down to like 5 cards. that I
Jesus.
don't have.
Oh man, you getting close. I
getting
completed
really
my
close.
top tier. I got 3 cards left on the bottom now.
Okay,
Since my last update to you.
I have 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top.
Okay. No, I wait. It was just that 1 card on the top. I was like, I'm just gonna spend the points just so I can have 1 line completed out. I don't care. Okay, so we've been jerking this game off for a while. Can I dive into a
Absolutely.
possible
Yeah,
gripe just
let's
to balance
go.
the?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I also don't want to throw it out there. Like I have some issues with
There,
the game.
yes, there are definitely obvious issues. It's definitely,
Now, my first issue with the game, I don't think everybody's going to agree with me on. I think a lot of people are going to be like, "You're fucking crazy, Harry. That's an awesome thing with the game." I like how there's this special infected in the game.
mutations.
Mutation, sure. I'm just using Left 4 Dead terminology.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
Don't.
how the variants. What?
I said don't.
I don't like how there's variants among the same like models.
I agree.
That drives me nuts.
They're
That's
not-
fucking crazy.
A lot of
Harry.
people were
It's not
pitching
just-
it to me like, "Oh, it's so cool that they have different variants within the same model."
They're not obvious enough.
They're not. They're
Yeah.
not obvious enough, and that pisses me off because the tall boys, for example, there are some that I kind of rush in on to try to kill extra quick.
Right.
But I can never tell. Is it going to grab me or is it going to pound on me? Essentially,
Yeah,
and that pisses me off.
It's basically where the weak spot is. If you don't see a weak spot, it's a bruiser for those. If it's a crusher, it has the turkey neck
Yeah.
weak spot, and for the ones that like do the circular ground and pound thing, that's the ones that have the weak spot on their arm.
It.
I'm just saying.
I get it. It's fine. It's just as fast paced as this game is. I wish it was
It can be
quicker.
more obvious to be able to distinguish.
100%. And it angers me almost every single time I play this game.
Yeah, it's just those and the fat ones.
The fat ones.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah.
there's the. Sometimes I don't know if it's like one of the guys that'll bind you up,
the stalker.
or if
Stalker,
if
Stinger,
he's
or
got-
the
yeah, all of them. I think
yeah.
all of them. They all have 3 different variants.
I
and
think
it's-
those are the hardest ones to tell apart, honestly.
The stalker, stinger, and
Whatever the other one
Spitter.
is. Spitter, yeah.
I think that's the stinger.
Yeah, that's the stinger.
Spitter's a quitter.
But those 3 I think are the hardest to tell because the character model is small.
Yeah.
I think it's frustrating on all of them.
Yeah.
It
It's
just
fair.
it irritates me.
Yeah, and like the classic thing to say is, well, they announce it at the bottom of the screen. I'm like, I'm not fucking looking at the bottom of the screen for the subtitles in this game.
If you have like 30
there's way
fucking
too much other shit going on. for me
written
to
running
read
at you
stuff.
when there's a giant thing in the back, it's like I'm going to focus on trying to shoot some things in the dome, not what do they say down there? Oh, okay, great. Now I know.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That and there's only like 4 lines of text at a time.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
there's like sometimes 10 mutations at a time. Like easily.
Sometimes they're 2 tall boys.
Sometimes there's like 5. There's tall boy hordes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reeker
they're
hordes.
frightening.
Yeah. They're fucking
The tall boy
ridiculous.
hordes are scary.
Yeah.
Oh God.
They just show up.
Yeah. And they're like fucking
We're here to fuck some shit up.
yeah, it's like a fucking football team running up on you. You're just like, what am I supposed to do?
That
The Monstars.
Yeah,
the one time we were playing, we got that corruption card midway through the game when we were in the yellow tents.
okay,
Oh,
yeah, in the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing with you, Harry, and I think it was with Kyle and Hamill, and we're like, all right, let's all get in this room.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
we'll
that's a
have
mistake.
we'll have all of our backs to the wall and we'll fire outward. And then literally there was like a pile of fucking meat to our right.
Yeah,
and
that
one of
drives
them
me
just
nuts.
Stood up right out of it.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, I guess there's a hole on the other side of that. But he just stood up right out of it and started fucking
Jesus
smashing us.
Christ.
So we start scattering, and then 2 of them walk in.
Oh my
the
God.
spot that we're supposed to be focused on,
Yeah.
where none of us are now focusing on it. It was just fucking madness for a second.
Yeah.
That works on like everything but tall boys. Like if you open like a safe room and you get in it and there's like a tall boy horde or like a horde, it works except for tall boys because like their weak spots on a lot of them you can't see as they're coming through a door.
No.
Yeah.
They have to like
They're way the
come
fuck up
through the
there.
door and have to be mid attack for it to even be exposed. Like it's brutal.
And yeah. And they have the most health too on top of
It's
that.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish they would go back to the drawing board with the variants and reconfigure that.
Yeah.
I don't think they will. But
No, they won't. I mean, it's like programmed like
yeah,
as a core
yeah.
part of the game now, so like it's not going to happen. But
No.
it still pisses me off, or at least color code. They could color code them differently
Yeah.
at this point.
Let me color code the weak spot because honestly, Changing the color of the weak spot in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking game changer.
Yeah.
remember-
Whoever had that idea first, fucking genius.
Yeah.
I think I was playing with John when he mentioned. It
Yeah.
might have been, actually, no. I
think
it
we were
was
playing
you.
around with the menu,
Yeah.
and he told me just like
Turn it to
oh,
the,
go
like the
go
bright
into the
green, the
yeah
neon
go,
green.
go into the colorblind section.
Yeah.
Use their disadvantage to your advantage.
Yeah, basically.
Jesus Christ.
Take that. I see the entire rainbow, but I can make this better for me, too.
Fair enough.
It's just like an enemy with a glow stick walking down the road. You're like, oh, that's a weak spot. I don't know what it is, but that's a fucking weak
Yeah,
spot.
something's coming. I'm going to shoot that fucking
Glowing.
thing.
You're like, well, so I have the weak spot set to like fucking neon green or whatever.
Yeah.
And the only thing that sucks about that is there's the volatile ridden.
Oh, that explode?
But
Oh.
their
Yeah.
head is like also green.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that a weak spot for...
Well, you aim for that anyway, really.
No, you don't. Because if you kill them without shooting their head, they don't explode.
You shoot them far
And
enough
then they
away,
don't-
It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, most of the levels where they come up, they're, like, in a path that you can't get around it.
Change the color. I went yellow. I never have that issue.
Yeah, I need to. I just, like,
Uh.
every time I think about it is only because, like, I come across them and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, so even with... so either way, their head is green no
Yes.
matter what you're... Oh, okay.
Because it's not
fuck.
a weak spot.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah, because I changed mine also to, like, the fucking neon green.
I think everybody went green except for me. I think I'm the only one that went yellow.
I'm default still.
Oh, wow.
oh
You're just
God.
red?
Yeah. I literally have no problems. It's maybe it's just how I see color, but I have no problems with the weak spots the way
I don't
they
think
are.
it was difficult, but it's definitely
It's just an
easier
extra
now.
boon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yes, it is a boon. It's definitely a bard just walking behind me like, that's green now! Playing a guitar.
Break out that loot, you bitch.
Playing me that colorblind song.
Play me that colorblind song. Love it.
Play me the colorblind.
Anything else to negatively talk about this game? I feel like, we need to, like, what else? So we mentioned the attachment thing. There's good, bad, and bad to that. I kind of see both sides, but...
Okay, so like literally even to just remove a piece of equipment that like it breaks it. Like I don't care. Like even you could even make it like part of the lore of just like, oh, like I don't want this fucking attachment and just rip it off of it.
Or just make it so that you have to wait until, like, you can find something out in the field, and then the next time you're in a safe room, like at the beginning of a level... you could
only
switch it
have
out.
it happen in safe
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could
because
see that.
especially with Joe's point, because I was thinking it's like it would be nice to be able to do that. And it's like you'd be fucking waiting for everybody because you fucking wait for them anyway. Because that's another thing that really is a pain in the ass. If your whole team is not on the same fucking page of what you need to do, this can be so goddamn frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not like a game mechanic thing. That's just fucking people who can't play. Like the dude when we were playing last night.
Oh, I muted him as soon as we started playing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I fucking muted. He
Yeah.
was like talking to his wife and shit before we loaded it.
Heard the baby in the background, but as soon as Joe started talking, he went silent.
Oh yeah.
You could hear him. Like he went silent, and then while we're walking through and we're talking and calling out to people, no one says a fucking thing. It's like, dude, I just heard like
Yeah.
half your family, probably 2 baby mamas in there too. What the fuck, man?
And he was like,
He's a Mormon.
Yeah,
he waited like the
clarifying.
whole fucking 6 minutes on the first level to like fucking pick his character and shit. And then every level just taking the whole fucking timer, like
Yeah.
People fucking suck.
taking
Don't
really
taking
care.
forever
That
to go
guy.
into the safe room, like just dude.
Yo, I'm gonna
Keep
say
it
this
moving.
right now. If your fucking family needs you, don't play fucking video games. Be with your fucking family.
yeah.
Like-
Either that or move out so you don't have to deal with them anymore.
Yeah, there's that. That is an
let the
option.
family-
Divorces are real.
Or
Yeah.
actually take your fucking break. Like that's the thing. Like so many people have this fucking issue. It's like either take a break from your goddamn family and like play a game or something and like actually relax. Or like don't do half steps. Everyone does this half step shit and then like no one's happy about it.
That's right. Tell that bitch to get the kid out of here. I need a couple hours to myself or I'm going to fucking stab something.
Yeah. This is a game that shows up, like, really obviously.
Yeah,
A
it
ton
does.
because they give you too much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to move that timer to 1 minute.
I mean, honestly, I don't
1 minute
mind.
to pick your character and card.
I like
1
a little
minute in
extra
the,
time to
in
have
the
to go.
fucking shop.
I like the extra time to have to go piddle.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
'Cause that's-
I don't know if it needs to be 3 minutes though.
I mean, I could do
what I'm
like
saying.
2. Maybe
Yeah,
down
like
to
three
2.
3 minutes on the first level, 1 minute after that.
No, I'm saying
No, maybe like 3 minutes in the middle.
Yeah.
Like somewhere along the middle. Actually, can I speak? Go ahead, finish your thought, and then I got something to speak about the middle.
all I was saying was like 1 minute to pick your character and your card, and then another minute at the shop. That's all. That's all. You know, it is 2 minutes that way. It does give you time. You know, like
I get that. All right, you're going to eat that world, Jimmy. Tell us about the
another
middle.
unpopular opinion, maybe. This game should have been 7 acts, not 4.
Oh, because of the whole, like, splitting up in the middles and stuff like that.
Well, not only that, I just think it should have been more piecemeal. I think 3 to 3.5 hours.
They would have had to
for-
write in more finales and shit like that then, too.
And they didn't have to.
Well, yeah, if you're going from one act to another, you definitely would have
I
to.
think it makes sense for the card
I mean, that's
system,
not
too.
There are a lot of mid-act.
Why are you
finales,
yelling?
so. I'm
getting
gonna I'm gonna throw this out there.
No.
That's not a hot take. That's a nitpick. That's
Yeah.
not a hot take.
Okay, I'm still. It's a gripe that I have. That's
fair. That's
You can-
totally.
You can also start
you can
playing
have
at any
that.
point in time once you finish.
No, I understand that, but you know, it's like it. I feel guilty quitting mid-act a lot.
Oh, I don't.
no,
Why?
No.
I
Because he's a
I wish
finisher.
I like the formula that was in Left 4 Dead, where it's like 5
Do you think
rounds.
Holly's going to be mad at you that you quit on her halfway through?
Yes.
She should have known that was going to happen.
She knew that when she fucking met me in the first place.
Dirty Ginger.
Harry's only got 4 pumps and he's done.
And
This
you
whole
need
9, 10, 11 bullshit.
We're talking about
He's too old for
We're
that.
talking about minutes over here of wait time, and Harry's getting nervous.
I'm not a stamina build guy.
no. Harry's worried about the middle. That's 45 seconds in.
You're more of a speed guy. Speed and efficiency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Accuracy.
Getting all, yeah.
Min maxer over here.
Shotgun damage.
Mostly men.
Yeah. Minimum effort, maximum output. No, I wish that these acts were like an hour and a half in length. Hour and a half to 2 hours. I think
What if
three and a half
they
hours.
shortened the game to
They
be
aren't
beatable in
3
6
and a half
hours?
What are you playing?
What?
They're not 3.5 hours.
All right,
They
fine,
are-
not 3.5.
They
but they're
are like an hour and a half.
no.
An hour and a half to 2 hours. Well, no.
No.
Summer one. I think Act 1 is like an hour and a half. Act,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna stop watch this shit.
Okay.
4 of us, we're gonna play an act.
now, when you get into Act 2 and
playing
Act
tonight?
3,
No, probably not.
it
tonight.
goes.
Yeah, not
it
tonight.
starts to go longer once you start.
You're
getting,
the
like,
one that's
Act 2,
off by
Act 3.
like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Pussy.
Oh shit! It's 8:45. I need
Oh,
to go to
God,
bed.
bedtime. I gotta get up at 4 and milk the cows.
We're just different. You'll spend with time with your wives and shit beforehand. I spend it with it after.
Okay, all right.
I don't have a wife.
No, but you got a kid.
Yep.
So,
And I spend time with him before gaming.
Right. Exactly. Same thing.
yeah.
Cool.
Cool stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think that's my gameplay rants.
Okay. I have something to say. I'm going to just bring it up in the gameplay because I really don't know. I don't think there's an appropriate thing at other time to bring it up.
Okay.
Oh, you were
I'm-
talking about this in the car. Don't say that words anymore.
What?
What? Oh no, different conversation Clark was having.
Okay.
I
So
will not give you a handy
huh?
with your cards.
What's that? What? What the hell is happening?
Clark's just gonna say what for the next 20 minutes. What?
I am thoroughly worried about the developer ruining this game.
Okay.
They had such a drastic reaction to the current state of things by nerfing things and not fixing vitally broken things, that it's just like, okay, so you guys are mad that people have figured out how to build good stuff with your decks, but you have acknowledged and have not fixed spawn rates of
They thought they did. They said that, so they put out the patch notes and then they were like, we fucked up. They immediately said it the next day.
Yeah, but like,
I'm good with that. Like, if you can show ownership where they're like, we fixed one bug, we didn't realize that it was masking another one.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Do you know what the current big bug is?
Yes.
The ridden are causing trauma. 1 HP.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
The generic ridden, every time they hit you,
Cause trauma.
One
yeah,
trauma.
Here's the
fuck.
thing. Here's the thing. That should have been fixed within 24 hours. I'm sorry, but if you're going to have a live service game that you can patch and you can stealth patch, because this has that capability, that should have been fixed immediately.
Yeah.
What I'm drastically worried about is people having to wait 2 or 3 weeks
For a patch.
yeah. and then they break something else, or they don't address something that is like vitally wrong with the game. Me personally, I played it the other night and I was like, this is not good. I didn't have fun the other night when I played. And I was like, it ruined one of my, well, not ruin. Okay. It didn't ruin.
Ruined.
It made it less fun to play my melee build.
Soiled it.
And I think it's just, it's that Destiny stigma where they see something happen in the community, they take such an overreaction to it instead of facilitating that. Like, facilitate that people have figured out how your cards work. Don't change the cards. Like, there's no point in changing the cards at this point. So what they've done is they've kind of like violated their community at this point, because now all these people have this content out there that is no longer relevant. People that are giving free advertising for your game. What you do is you kind of like you kind of alienate your community at that point.
So how would you have fixed it? How would you have fixed the melee thing?
I don't know what they were even trying to accomplish.
So when I played with people that melee, right, I intentionally, like, for sometimes to see how broken it was not do anything. I would just run behind them. And there were times where the melee player would single-handedly clear like levels. It was broken.
Yeah, there was no comparison between melee and guns.
It was not even close. It was so, you couldn't see it as you were playing it because you just assumed people are shooting behind you. But if they weren't shooting, it was fucking obvious. It was broken.
If
you buff the enemies, it just breaks everything. If you buff guns and don't debuff enemies, it breaks everything. And any way you go, it invalidates anybody's YouTube content. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. That's invalid. And that happens for every game. You have to accept that. Content creators accept that. That's a thing. And honestly, it's good for them because then they get to make more content for free-ish.
I don't know. I don't think nerfing melee was the way to go. I
don't think there was a way
I
around
think
it.
doing something else. So okay, make them a little more resistant to melee. Give the enemies more resistance to melee. That's all you have to do. It's two different damage stacks. They already figured that out. Just make it more resistance to melee. Boom, done. Fixed. That's how I'd fix it. Fixed.
It would still invalidate everything.
Doesn't matter.
It does the same thing.
Okay,
It does the same thing.
but-
whether you say the guy takes 30% less damage, or you make the cards do 30% less damage, it does the same thing. It does the same thing.
They affected the build, though. They affected like the master like melee build. They affected it on a dynamic level. Like it changed the way that whole build works now.
I mean, it's still.
What if they
lot
would have
of
done it in secret, not change the wording on the cards whatsoever, but do it to all the numbers behind?
That would have just pissed people off more than they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
People would have figured it out.
At any rate, they had to fix something. They had to make a decision. I get it. Like,
I mean, look, I get their want to balance their game, but like adding damage resistance to melee would have been fine.
It's the same as nerfing.
As
it's the same as
opposed to,
nerfing. It's the same thing.
I disagree.
Subtracting 30% at the end or 30% at the beginning is still 30%. It's the same thing.
But that's not what they did.
Right, well, you can agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's fine.
you go.
I'm just saying, like, I'm legitimately worried because this is the same shit that. It's the same shit
We've also
that, like,
only had one patch and it's been out for a month.
Destiny.
Yeah.
It's the same shit that, like, Destiny did.
Yeah, but it's...
And Destiny died
And look who owns
for
Destiny.
a really long time. Yeah.
Anyways, agree to disagree on that one.
There you go.
I will agree that, some of the things they've done are not the greatest. But
But then
it's
I will-
also been a very short time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Has
And
just
it's their
that low.
first game since obviously a broken fucking game.
that they also ran into the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm saying,
I
like,
get your point of being scared.
And look, I was also an early adopter of Evolve. I had it day one. Like,
So did I.
This is coming from someone who has already been burned by this company once. Like, it's just one of those things of, like, look, they have now had a history of really fucking things up in like 3 patches.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once you get to the like they can't just undo that melee change. So to if they want melee to be more relevant again at any point, they're going to have to undo this buff, which is going to inherently break other stuff because they don't even have a grasp on the
Melee is
balance of
still
their
a
own
thing,
game.
though.
still fucking
It's
OP.
a still a thing.
I understand, but it just shows to me that they don't have a grasp on the balance of their own game.
Nobody does. I'm like fucking week into it. 2 weeks into it. It's just not. It's not.
The melee thing was known in the beta. People
We
knew the
didn't have all
melee
the
thing in the
cards
beta.
beta.
They didn't, except for in Swarm.
I wouldn't call Swarm anything close to like.
People had the build in Swarm and beta. I'm just saying, like, it's not.
I don't think it shows the same vulnerabilities though, because a lot of cards do different things in Swarm.
Yes.
So I don't think you can equate that.
Speaking on Swarm, to move the conversation along a little bit,
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as the Versus mode of Left 4 Dead.
Not even close. It's terrible.
I disagree that it's terrible.
Okay.
Your
Your opinion, my opinion.
I haven't even tried it yet, to be completely honest.
You
with
should
It's fun,
you
you
should
should.
experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a horde mode
Okay.
where you get, as the enemy, you can control the different infected. You get to choose whatever ones you want. As you're doing damage and time is going on, you can upgrade your team in any avenue you want. You can upgrade the ridden. You can upgrade the mutations that you're using.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's just kind of, you see the clock ticking, and until everybody is incapacitated, the clock keeps ticking.
Now, are you actually controlling the mutations and written characters, or are you more just kind of like the puppeteer putting like everything together?
You're controlling the mutations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're controlling.
And
them.
you
I was
pick
curious.
which one you spawn with and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a limit
okay.
of 2 per category. So not all 4 people can be tall boys, which
Right,
would be
right.
fucking absurd.
Yeah. But not Unreal because that's in the game.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's not make it like the campaign.
Gotcha. So it is more of just kind of like a horde mode rather
It's
than
more arena style.
Rather,
Yeah.
okay, so
So
not
they
like
choose
the
like a
4v4.
They'll choose a familiar segment from a campaign.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
That's gated off. You have a small area. You
Okay.
can't escape that area.
Oh, and it keeps
Yeah.
shrinking too.
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Kind of like the swarm.
The swarm around
That's why it's called Swarm.
Look at that.
Light bulb.
Let's put 2 and 2 together. That makes 17.
Yes.
the breaker. My main gripe with the mode is that it's too slow. It bores me to death.
Yeah, they could speed up that process. for
Like
sure.
I fucking hate how much time it takes between rounds and like shit like that. It just, the mode playing it isn't bad, but you spend probably not even half the time actually playing it. Like it's like loading, selecting
depends on
cards,
how good you are, but yeah.
the cleaners picking up their crap, like because when cleaners are picking their cards and running around finding weapons and getting ammo, as
they have up to 3
mutations-
minutes to do it.
Yeah, they have 3 minutes to do it, and as a mutation, you're
geez.
doing nothing.
You're just sitting and waiting.
You're just sitting there waiting until they're done so you can
And
spawn.
then they get a minute to scavenge.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So
It's-
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus.
That is why I hate it.
Okay. Yeah, that would fucking piss me off and be like, all right, what the fuck?
If it was like
I can
a
only
minute,
masturbate so quickly. I need at
It's
least
a-
4.5 minutes.
It's a fun mode though.
yeah.
it's just too slow. If they figured out a way to speed up that timer or have something for mutations to do while the cleaners are doing something, okay, that would probably make it a lot better. But there's too
That's
much
it.
dead time.
I could see that at least where it's like if you're one of the cleaners, you are doing stuff, and if you're like playing
Yeah.
mutations, then you're just twiddling your thumbs. So at least
Right.
if there was something extra to be like, hey, at least I feel like I'm actually doing something during this wait time, then I could go for that.
Again, it's
Yeah.
also one of those things that gets worse because of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's one person on the cleaner side
Yeah.
that hasn't checked in to start the scavenge timer. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I was playing with, like, Kyle and Hamill, who I mostly play this game with, and, like, we were playing, we were talking to the other person on our team, and, like, it would start, we'd, like, pick our cards, be done, and then immediately the scavenge timer would start, and, like, the other team was waiting maybe a minute and a half.
Yeah.
But it can be fucking 4
I don't think
minutes.
I've
Right.
ever had that experience.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
Small issue with it though, Steve. When somebody drops, you are handicapped the rest of the match. Now it does say the AI balances it, quotations, but I don't think it does it
Good enough.
Like,
it
gotcha.
despawns
Yeah.
commons. That's all it does.
Yeah, because you're still
and it-
four
and it
mutations
adds-
against 3.
Yeah.
It adds seconds to the mutation timer as well.
Yeah, even that, it's like. But
Okay, so you have like
still-
I've seen it happen.
So you have like
Yeah.
5 minutes to take out the cleaners instead of 4 or something like that.
No, the cleaners are trying to last as long as they can.
Right.
The longest time that I have ever been a part of was 7 minutes 20 seconds.
Okay.
And it was just like pretty much us just like fucking healing in a small circle.
Right. Well, at least hearing with this with like the game modes, because on the roadmap there is supposed to be
There's a new game mode.
a new game mode. So, I mean, it's like with hopefully with the guessing, that's like an actual like 4-on-4 style like they used to do in Left
Campaign
4 Dead.
versus.
Yeah, exactly.
I highly doubt it.
That's what everybody's hoping for. But yeah, but I'm not.
The game's not built for it.
I'm not looking for that.
The
I
levels
would
are
be
too
pleasantly
long.
surprised, but I don't think it happens.
The levels are too long,
Yeah.
and I just don't see. There's a lot of odd spots where you couldn't have versus mode in this. There's
Where, like you can't spawn or like shit
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
just spots where you wouldn't be able to spawn and things like that. Like I just
There's
don't
also a
see-
lot of spots where like the spawning would be absolutely ridiculous, and like an actual person playing the mutation would really fuck a team. And like,
Oh my
like,
God, yeah.
like there's some areas like the one level where you're running through and getting to the church. Before you get to the rundown building that usually has the health kit and stuff in it,
Yeah.
there's like 4 different paths to run through like that swamp.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't see a team ever getting through there playing against real player mutations.
Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine
Like-
it.
That's ridiculous.
I know it would be a lot of work, but I don't want to rule this out as an option. What if they made a custom versus
New campaign.
kinda, or like cater it, and it might not be as detailed as like a regular campaign, or maybe they just like repurpose certain segments from the other campaigns and kind
Yeah.
of piece them together. or
It's
something
almost-
like
Shorten
that.
down to
it's-
like the toolkit safe room or something.
It's almost
Something
too
like
ambitious.
It would be a huge endeavor. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a
Maybe
massive
for right now
undertaking.
anyway.
And the problem is, how do you balance that with cards?
I mean,
They'd have to add in. Well, they'd have
They
to
might
add in
have
mutation cards.
mutation cards,
Not
yeah.
just the corruption cards, because I don't think they're.
Right, no, like it
no,
would
it'd
have
be
to,
like the leveled up. I think it would be similar to like current Swarm, where things are just auto leveled up for
Yeah,
you,
but
or
as
something
a
like that.
mutation, though, like. I feel like they would have to have a card system as a mutation for it to.
something
Or
like
or
that.
Really
limited
take
or
off.
limited cards for the survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see them.
Yeah,
doing that.
it would
Quite
be a
honestly, I just don't see it.
huge-
Yeah, it's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
but I don't think they have the team for.
I would be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, sure,
But I am not holding my breath.
sure,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I think it's going to be.
I think if the demand is enough there, they'll bend and do it. I just
Okay.
Everyone's been asking for it since the alpha.
Yep. There's been demand literally from everyone that was pre-ordering the game, so I just don't see it happening.
Oh, well, we'll stay on Team Optimism over here, right? Yeah.
We'll stay on team holding our breath.
Okay. Hey, Harry, we're going to live
let's just call it
longer.
Team
They're going to die.
Hey, look, we agreed on something.
Yeah, how about that?
Hey,
That's new to the podcast.
I thought I felt the ground get colder.
We're in hell.
Yeah.
my heater doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's why I got cold.
Everything's cold. My testicles are icicles.
All right, I said my piece. I think about all of this.
We've been talking gameplay for a
Yeah.
while.
Well, as we said, this is like
Yeah.
heavy.
This is
there
the
is
thing.
a lot to it, though.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to play this game for the first 2 hours and get it.
No.
Like,
Right.
No.
Yeah, no.
like, that's not this game.
It took me a while to get used to the card system.
Yeah, the card system is pretty in depth, and honestly, without like Swing Point's fucking YouTube channel shout out, like
Is that
I would still
the
be
guy
fucking
that I've been
lost.
watching? 'Cause
Yeah.
I've been watching a shit ton of his videos because he's good
yeah,
with
Yeah.
this game.
yeah, and like without those videos, I'd still be fucking lost.
Yeah.
There are so many like minor things to the gameplay that like I would have never
Could make a huge difference.
Yeah, or like you spend like 6 hours just trying to figure out how one fucking card works.
What's odd to me is it just from all the communication, it doesn't seem like the team realizes what the cards do. It almost seems like a wild card system, which is scary to me. That's kind of what I was saying. Like, it doesn't seem like the team has a grasp on what balance is for this game.
Some of the cards, yes, because like
that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
They're entering elements into their game that they have no idea what they're gonna do.
yeah,
Oh, wild card,
because you're
bitches.
like this card affects damage anywhere on the body and weak spot damage, and this one, even though it doesn't say it's weak spot damage, affects damage everywhere on the body, but weak spot.
Because
Like it's like and the cards don't tell you that kind of stuff, and it's like what?
well, the cards don't tell you that stuff because I don't know if you saw that one tweet, but like one of the developers said that's not as intended.
Yeah, like
It's supposed to be all
nuts.
stack damage on one thing, and then you get bonus headshot damage and weak spot, and that's it. And those numbers aren't supposed to be affected. So like that's the thing. That's the thing with them balancing stuff right now is like I don't feel like they have a grasp on some of their cards, and that is kind of scary, especially the damage, because it's like a damage-based game. I feel like you should have that locked in.
I don't know if I have too
Gameplay.
much more for. I don't know if I have too much more for gameplay. Really.
Yeah, we can hop into something else.
Well,
I should have mentioned this in story. I don't think the
fucked up, Harry.
characters are as memorable as my Left 4 Dead favorites.
I think
Well,
they're
there's
more
too many.
memorable. Honestly,
You do?
Really? I
think because you played it more, but to me, like honestly, I've probably played this like I still probably played more Left 4 Dead than Back 4 Blood, right? I probably maybe played like 100 hours of Left 4 Dead. I'm at 50 hours of Back 4 Blood,
Yeah.
but like to me, they have more personality, and they're way more different enough, and they interact with each other more.
I can't.
as he looks at longingly at the 7 posters.
So here's the thing. Left 4 Dead didn't ooze characters or character development or anything
No.
like that. However, not a single person in Back 4 Blood is anywhere near the same personality as like Ellis. Ellis from Left 4 Dead 2 is
God,
like
you went right for Left 4 Dead 2?
He's
What?
the best character. He has the most
God,
character.
I disagree with everybody.
He has the most character of any of the Left 4 Dead games.
So the
hands
reason-
down.
just to explain
most
why
memorable.
I'm saying it is because of the story development that the characters are providing in this game.
Maybe Bill.
Okay, I can give you that.
Because that's where I'm saying like the past like week that I've really been playing, I've really tried to pay attention to the story development that the characters are providing, and to me that's a lot more. and it's a lot more engaging.
Yeah, rather than just realizing that Lewis fucking loves pills. Pills here?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm picking up what you're putting down there. Because it feels like you get more story and context from these characters than what you remember playing with.
Playing as
Left 4 Dead.
Holly gives me way more towards the story than playing as Bill. Playing as Bill versus playing as another character in Left 4 Dead didn't add anything to the story.
Other than Bill just being a badass, and that's just...
Like, does that make sense?
Ellis, though.
I never played Left 4 Dead 2, so I have no opinion on that.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with Left 4 Dead 2.
I don't know. I don't know. I felt like the Left 4 Dead 1 characters just had so much personality, and just the banter between them. It
Was it banter or character development?
Banter.
Okay, because there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like there's more
It's
character
banter.
development.
100% it's banter.
Yeah.
I think Ellis specifically, like, I'm using Ellis as an example because Ellis would go on these fucking rants about, like, my friend Keith, like, and those were fucking epic and hilarious. And, like, every single one of them kind of had nothing to do with the story, but Left 4 Dead didn't really have a story.
Yeah.
So, like, it was all flavor for the character. Whereas I think some of the character development and the acting for the characters in Left 4 Dead
I would
or Back 4 Blood is atrocious.
I'm not going to disagree with that point.
Yeah, which takes me out of it, which makes me not like any of the characters. That's the problem for me. Like, if I read the characters, probably a different story.
Yeah.
But the whole presentation of the characters left me wanting more from every single one of them.
I find the Back 4 Blood characters are offensively stereotypical.
I'm not going to disagree with you that point either.
Yeah, Doc is
Doc is obvious. The obvious one.
brutally like almost racist.
Oh, I 100% think she's pretty racist.
She's playing a stereotype.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. But I feel like they did that with Walker.
Right.
I
The
feel
writing
like
for
they
her is offensive.
did that with Hoffman. I don't know. I see it among a couple characters.
Well, every single character is really a stereotype.
But they leaned into it way too hard.
Yeah,
The
biker
part-
mom, like
Yeah.
I get the stereotypes. What kills me, like, specifically for Doc, is when, like, it's obvious when it drops in and drops out.
oh yeah.
Because there are certain moments of Doc's dialogue that is just like, are you sure that's how you wanted to say that? Like, because you had perfect English in every sentence prior to that.
Yeah, when you were explaining that very intelligent scientific fucking medical thing that you just said,
And then
it
you
was
ordered
perfect.
broccoli.
Yeah, dude, it's fucked. It's really fucked.
It is.
It's not good.
And also, like, Turtle Rock had that weird fucking overlayer with the two zombie sounds over each other. Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From the beta.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saw that video. It's like,
Forgot
what the
about
fuck
that.
did he just say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oops. Nope.
One zombie yelled "Nah," and the other one was like "Ah," and you just overlay them, and it makes a
Well,
terrible
it was doing
word.
it automatically.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would kick them off a second after each other.
Yeah, it was bad.
Whoops.
I don't mind
It was funny.
writing certain characters like stereotypical, because, like, if you're writing somebody from, like, New Orleans, right? Like, okay,
Don't
that
be
person's
knowledge,
from New
y'all.
Orleans. Like, they're gonna have a personality from New Orleans.
Y'all like
right?
jambalaya?
If you write somebody from Kentucky, they're gonna have, like, that person. I get that. That's stereotypical. I'm okay with that. But, like, when it's like you like, sometimes they have it and sometimes they don't, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's enough.
It's like
of
all,
that.
all or nothing.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
is,
It's ridiculous.
it screams to me that as they were reading that, somebody fucking came into the room and was like, "Hey, could you be more Chinese when you speak?
Yeah.
Can you sound more Chinese American when you speak?"
Can you throw that on like you don't completely understand English?
Yeah,
Even
like,
though you're
it's-
speaking pretty good
it's-
English?
It's one of those things, like, someone doing a Cajun accent sucks, as opposed to someone that like actually just has a Cajun accent, and you can totally tell the difference. You can tell every fucking time, and it just seems like some of these people's accents are terrible.
Going down and spawn, going for station gator. It's all about the gators. Swamp people.
Going Newton.
Go
Newton.
Noodling? Yeah.
Noodling.
Gonna go noodling. Gonna go and fish some fucking catfish. Fish right in the mouth.
So graphics? Are we ready for
I think
graphics?
Like, because we finally got to me, like, fisting a catfish in the mouth.
Yep.
Again.
Yep.
Well, screw you.
All right, well, let's pick a card and move into graphics.
Graphics.
I like the environments. I mean, when some of it, when you're going through the acts, there's not, sometimes you're outside, sometimes you're in a building. But, I mean, for the majority, I don't really have anything to complain about. A grout? Yeah. What am I doing?
Putting in
Some
a new
tiles? Yeah, tiling over here. Nothing to complain about. I mean, it's not like overwhelming. Oh my God, look at all of this. But, I find it enjoyable enough. And for the fact my PC can actually run it and be okay. So I dig it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, it's an arcade shooter for the most part. You're not like really inspecting a lot of the environments a lot of the times. I think they spend a lot of time where it counts, though. Like the gun models look fantastic. The character models are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The cleaners, that is. Some of the written and stuff like that, not great. When characters or when cleaners get covered in blood, though, that's fucking brutal.
Oh God, yeah.
Because they look like written.
Yeah,
like it gets kind of brutal.
I've shot a few people by accident.
It looks like everyone's been in a Evil Dead movie.
Yeah,
they're just covered head to toe in blood, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
It's pretty brutal. But outside of that, the thing that stands out as far as the graphics go, and it's kind of a gameplay thing though at the same time, is the fog.
Yeah, I was going to mention something.
Yeah, incredible.
The fog looks fantastic, but it is devastating.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking realistic. I'm like, oh wow, I can really only see like 20 feet ahead of me, and everything else
that
is
fog
nothing.
where like you're in your car getting ready to go to work, and you're like, I can't see my fucking headlights. Like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous,
and it's great night and day. One thing that I noticed about this game is when everything's happening. Like when this game is just humming along and you're running and stuff like that, the game looks beautiful and horrific where it needs to and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But when the game slows down, that's kind of where the cracks start to show up. Like you take the kind of the motion blur out of it and stuff like that, and you start to see that like some of the textures aren't as crystal clear as what you thought they were, and things like that. The gun models and stuff like that, they all look great, and again, it's when everything's moving real quick, everything looks great because the on-screen presentation is amazing, but when you slow things down and really go into the fine detail, that's where you see like the weak spots of the game.
Like if you're in the safe room waiting for fucking 3 minutes for somebody to pick their card, and you're like looking around, it's not great.
And you find some like pixelated like graffiti on the wall, and you're like, why is that pixelated?
Yeah. For the most part, though, it's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are a couple of those, but yeah.
I always turn motion blur off because it makes me want to puke.
I turn all that shit off.
You got some sensitive eyes.
That was one of the first things I did after I booted up the game.
It's just
this is going on
literally every game I play. I'm just like, why is this even a thing?
Yeah, really.
Totally acceptable. I mean, they're not like obviously not game changing, but
they're not mind blowing by any means, but
they're not shit.
They're not
late
either.
generation PS4 acceptable. Totally.
Yeah.
Early
Early PS5. It's on par.
Yeah.
because I've been playing the PS5 version, so like
Okay.
I'm getting the actual like up-resed graphics and things like that. Like I'm probably more in your realm of seeing the graphics.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
guess that should have been something kind of put out. Like this is like
We're kind of all over the place on playing this.
Yeah,
fully
two
pro-
PCs, a PS4, and a PS5.
Yeah.
Worst thing about PS4 is the loading time.
Oh,
Uh,
no
your-
shit.
The Xboxes do the same thing for
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
I
'cause
found
we all fucking wait for you, Harry.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm fucking waiting there in just dead silence.
I
The
found in the
hilarious
coup-
part is the in between levels timer is almost completely gone by the time Harry loads in.
Oh yeah, I
It's
know.
like
it's
2
fucking
seconds
insane.
left every time he loads in. Finally, it's like I've been sitting here for like 20 seconds already.
yeah.
Well, like when you play with Kyle and Hamill and myself, we all have PS5s. So like we're like waiting on you to load and we're like, "Are you in yet, Harry?" And you're like, "No, not yet." Like, "Oh, the timer's almost out."
Yeah.
But yeah, your PC, PS4, PS5, and I guess it's just the Xbox Series X.
I have
Just
no
the one?
idea. I don't
don't
pay
know.
attention to Microsoft at all anymore.
No. Oh,
There's
but
no point in-
The only thing I
there's no
have
point to-
noticed is when there's like the gamut of different systems, Xbox always seems to be the last one. In
Yeah,
there.
I agree. Every time I play with anybody on console, like especially if it's a PS versus Xbox scenario. Now, granted, you can't tell what console they're on.
Yeah.
Xbox is always the last one
Yeah.
to load in.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, graphics since since you two are on PlayStation, Joe and I play on PC.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you're probably I'd say with the higher up res, I mean, I don't have any extra shit turned on mine. I don't overclock anything. It's not like it's a game to
Yeah,
really
I have
do
everything
that
maxed
for.
out in the game. I can't turn it up anymore.
So I just
And my graphics card doesn't even know this game
Yeah,
is
I'm-
running, basically.
yeah.
Mine's running on performance mode or whatever, so I'm getting the best resolution I can
Yeah.
out of a PS5.
I mean, yeah, really. I mean, there's nothing really shake a stick at when it comes to graphics. You blow something up, it looks neat. Fires look cool. They burn around for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
You can see the heat off them and everything like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the
They did a good job with a lot of that.
some of the mutation models that they're neat, they're intimidating. They do their job where it's like, oh fuck, here comes this thing, like giant ass fucking ogre.
I think the worst looking thing in the game, now that I'm thinking about it, is the fucking puke from the Reekers.
Yeah,
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's not. It's and not where it's like, oh, that's terrible. Look, it's puke. It's like, no, I've seen better puke.
It's like very, I don't know. It's not, very flat looking.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
if
one of
that
those
makes
things where
sense.
it's like they have like one JPEG image of it and they just like multiply it as it goes.
Come on, if you're puking,
And then it's like laying on the floor. and shit.
I need chunks. I need texture. Come on.
There is no chunks to
No,
it
no,
whatsoever.
it's very all liquid. Yeah, I'm let down by the puke.
I don't have any issues with the game.
graphics.
I think it looks pretty good. I probably should have insert my
Penis.
yes, always.
Yeah.
I'm always like, why didn't I insert my penis here?
I know.
It's just
Yeah.
missed opportunity.
Or
Give your PlayStation a little love.
insert into your penis. You can be
You would go there.
Frankendick. We'll do it from the side.
It's a Prince Albert.
Not if it doesn't go all the way through.
I probably should have put my complaint about the mutation variants here. Well,
No,
I
if
guess
it
that-
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It goes both ways.
You're wrong. Yeah, I mean, you're wrong anyway, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Fuck you. I'm
Yeah,
totally
other way,
right
shut
on
the
this
fuck up,
argument.
Harry. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't have any issues here.
Let's put our penises together and move into sound.
Audio.
love it.
You hear that?
Sounding. Welcome to the sounding zone.
Cut it in.
Cut it in.
When our penises combine, I am Captain Platinum.
No. We.
We
Yeah,
are
we.
Captain Planet. All propelled by the singularity of like our Rat King dick.
What would that Captain Planet look like? Balls! Jizz!
Vance difference.
Helmet!
Fucking South American kid. He would have the worst one still.
Heart!
Pubes. Yeah. Oh God.
Fuck that. I'm like the Amazon, scorched earth.
So as we kind of talked, we alluded to it a little bit earlier. The like I said, I think a lot of the story for me actually comes from the dialogue. Unfortunately, not a lot of the dialogue is great. I think the writing is good. I think the delivery is not good.
Yes, I would agree. I don't think the voice acting is particularly well done. I think Hoffman's done really well. And I think Holly's okay. And Mom's okay, but
Mom's kind of gimmicky too, though.
Yeah, she's kind of gimmicky as well, and just from there it gets really bad. I talked about the sound snafu that they had in the so they've been kind of struggling a little bit with like the sound.
Yeah.
I think the best part of the sound for this entire fucking game,
Fire bombs.
no,
Fire traps.
is fucking Blitz, Barroom Blitz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is a highlight of this game. Period.
Yes, I think that is the best part.
they
of
need
this
to
game.
make horde mode of that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
where it just runs through all of the songs and you just last as long as you can,
Yeah,
and they give you supply points based on how long you last.
yeah, that would
Done.
be fucking awesome.
Just fucking make
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah,
First time playing through that and fucking Black Betty came on, I'm like, oh, you hear like the fucking the bass drum kick in a little bit. It's like, all right, I'm feeling this, and then chaos going on. It's like that's like a full body experience.
Yeah.
Fucking love that.
yeah. First time I did it was Miserloo, and then followed by fucking Ace of Spades, and like Miserloo gets done, and I was just like, oh man, okay, so like there's like I can see the horde like outside as they're starting to come in,
Yeah.
and it just like the drums hit for fucking Ace of Spades is like, brrr, brrr, and like the whole fucking room just fills with fucking zombies and mutations.
It's very epic.
Yeah. Highlight moment of this game.
Yeah.
Absolute highlight.
Yeah. No, I think that's
I think that's definitely like of any audio in this game, that is like the top. That's
I
the
feel
pinnacle.
like years ago they had this idea like, oh, wouldn't it be cool like that scene from Shaun of the Dead where they're acting out the zombie scene? What if we build a game around that?
Just
and that was their starting point,
yeah.
and then they just built from that scene outward.
That's fine. By still including that, that's fine. I don't give
Sorry,
a fuck.
they went all downhill from there then.
Yeah. That's like the apex of this game. I really honestly think it's the best part.
Other than that, not music. The only thing is like, oh, you're loading up and you're boom, 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 boom. It's like, and then that's pretty much.
I don't mind that song either, though.
No.
Yeah, it kind of
I
slaps a
enjoy
little
that.
bit.
Somebody was
Yeah.
doing a comparison to Left 4 Dead. Again, sorry I keep bringing it up, but it's a
hard
very
not to.
very similar. Like
You got 4 in the middle.
yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, it's the spiritual successor.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the closest we will ever get to Left 4 Dead 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They better not fuck it up. That's all I'm saying. I like the game enough. I just don't want to see them fuck it up. That's all.
You know what? If you go back to it, it's following a similar path. It gives some hope for Back 4 Blood. They nerfed the melee in Left 4 Dead. Remember when it was unlimited melee in
Oh,
Left 4 Dead
yeah.
1? And then they were like, we need to put a stamina gauge and time out people. Because you used to run through Left 4 Dead
Yeah.
consistently swinging because you would never run
True.
out of stamina.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we got to stop this. We made it OP.
Yeah.
So the real thing to take away is They haven't learned their lesson.
That's hilarious.
So with that, it's like, oh fuck, we did it again.
That
Son of
scares
a
me.
bitch.
That scares me though, because I don't want this to go the path of Left 4 Dead. This needs to be better than Left 4 Dead.
It will not be better than Left 4 Dead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. My score is coming.
I'm saying
9.9.
the end game. I'm saying the end game of this needs to be better than Left 4 Dead, because I don't think like the community as a whole would buy Back 4 Blood 2 if this goes the way of like Left 4 Dead 2 did.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see
With the support or evolve. Like, you know what I mean? Like this could still tank.
I think
which is
it's
sad.
a lot different nowadays.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead was like
Well,
2008.
I think Left 4 Dead
Sure.
ate itself because they released Left 4 Dead 2
a year later.
and then
Yeah.
it split the community.
Yeah.
And
But that was
both
Steam
games-
and not Turtle Rock.
Yeah,
I'm just
Valve,
saying.
but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valve. They're the same thing to me.
As long as they don't release a completely separate title a year
No,
from
I
now.
think
Yeah.
I think they're
Yeah.
as Clark said, they're doing a live game service, like
Yeah.
like a Destiny, where they're like, the only reason they came out with Destiny 2 is because they were like,
We gotta
we're
start
having
fresh.
issues with fucking people playing on PlayStation 3, and we need to cut them out.
Yep.
But at any rate, like I said, I think the sound is good. The music is good. The dialogue not good. Weapon sounds are fucking awesome. I think.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think this game, a lot of the stuff hits where it counts.
I didn't really input my opinion on sound, but I don't know if I really even have a strong opinion on sound. I'm wishy-washy on it.
All right, move into
So-
final thought.
That's fine. That's
Wishy-washy,
fine.
man.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
There's a little washcloth. Dirty.
All right, well, let's wait for this guy to ready up and move into final thoughts.
That's me because I'm on a PS4.
4 minutes later.
Final thoughts.
Just add in 4 minutes of dead air while we're.
That'd be great.
Yeah, this is what it feels like.
It's like the Rocco's Modern Life episode where it's like just show a jar
I'll
of
just
mayo
add
for
in
15
the sound
minutes.
of everybody meleeing the guy trying to fucking load
Yeah.
in and not readying. Because that's what everyone does.
Oh,
Everybody
God.
punches the guy that's still standing there.
Yeah, you don't know that because that's you.
No, I do it all the time because there is a lot of times when
People just sit on card selection too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking stupid.
yeah.
Fucking embarrassing. All right, Joe, who's going first?
Clark, final thoughts.
I think this is a good game. I think it's a good starting point to be the spiritual successor to the Left 4 Dead franchise. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with patching and with the updates coming forward. Overall, I enjoy the game. I think it's a really well done. It is what I was hyped up for and things like that. Now that I've beaten the game and I'm starting to kind of like go through the harder difficulties and a lot of the cracks and some of the stuff is starting to show, that's where I'm starting to get worried because like I don't know. I think there's like only like 2 or 3 suggested builds to get through like the end. And it's like you have to have these cards and you have to like people have to play certain roles to get through like the end. And like that's a great challenge and all, but that's not the draw for me. Is like not for this to be challenging. It's more to like have fun with it. So we'll see.
Steve?
What I can say is it is living up to the expectation of what I wanted out of this game so far. Of course, it's always going to be compared to Left 4 Dead because, playing so much of it, you can't not. It's just a part of it. But I have to realize this is its own game. So where it's a little sad not to have like the 4v4 like campaign versus. But otherwise, I really don't have much complaints other than getting like the random fucking person who just doesn't follow along or want to be a team player. So that's why it's especially, I just find this is definitely one of those games that I enjoy more when it's just like myself and three of any of you guys from the friend group. who are like actually in and whatnot. That takes it to a better experience for me. But yeah, I mean, otherwise it's like I can't say that I'm disappointed in this game. I get to fucking beat the shit out of zombie-looking motherfuckers, and with a nice slew of weaponry to do so.
All right, Harry.
So I think this is a really strong game. I'll be honest. This is the first game I pre-ordered in a very long time.
Yeah.
So if that says anything, I'm very reserved when it comes to pre-ordering things. It does scratch that itch that Left 4 Dead had for me, and it has a ton of unlockables. Just trying to get through unlocking all those cards and all the extras, and I always really like that about the game, and I definitely gonna plow forward and get all that.
Plow it, Harry.
Does it hold up to my standard as far as like Left 4 Dead goes? I don't think so. I think I'm going to hold Left 4 Dead in higher regard in the long term, but I mean, I still have a ton of hours I'm going to sink into this game. And I wish the chaos level was turned down like 5%
That's
on
one
Back
of the
4
things
Blood.
we were talking about in gameplay.
Yeah.
Like-
I just really turn that dial down just a smidge. Just a little bit.
There's a bug that are causing mutations to spawn twice as many times.
Well, no, I understand that. And maybe that'll fix itself out. It just, damn it, I'm gonna go on this little rant. You're gonna judge me and be like, oh, Harry's so fucking old. I find the older I get, the slower my reaction time is, and like games that are like really high paced like this gets just slightly harder to play the older you get. I just see that. I could feel it when I'm playing games like this. I can't react like I did like when I was in my early 20s.
You should turn your sensitivity on your controller up a touch.
Yep.
Start
That's what I've been doing.
Start playing that way.
I almost never play on default sensitivity anymore for my look.
No.
I always bump it up a notch or two.
Yep. Same.
That way you can keep up with the youngins. Yo,
Fucking
fuck.
somebody was good too. Yo, fuck! Leave it to Steve.
Right there for you, you decrepit turd.
I knew he was gonna put it like a poop joke at the end of that too. Like it's just Steve.
Come on, you know how much dick I have not
Yeah, and
put
then
into
a
this
dick.
episode?
There you go.
All right?
Yeah, that's kind of my wrapped up final thoughts though.
Cool.
Long live Zoe.
Cutting that out. No, I'm just kidding.
Do it.
You have to listen and find out.
I just want one listener to email us how many times Harry said Left 4 Dead this episode.
I'm sorry. It's such an easy comparison.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But you said it at the end now, and now nobody's going to go back and start over and start counting. If you do, kudos.
You will win.
Maybe you'll get something out of it.
Maybe.
you won't.
You probably will.
You get a number.
Well, that didn't work well in history.
What?
Nothing.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yee.
So anyway,
Force
my
nice.
final my final thoughts. I think this is a great game. It, obviously a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, as everybody's been saying. I think it hits all on the right things. I love the deck building in it. I love the shooter aspect. As Steve said, playing with randoms sucks. I'd much rather play with one friend and two bots than play with one friend and two randoms, because it is brutal. However, playing with three bots is impossible.
Yes.
You can load into a game and it'll give you three bots in an online game and have you let you progress and get everything. You can't do it intentionally, but it will do it unintentionally sometimes. However, they don't focus fire. If you get like an ogre, they won't kill it. Like, it's brutal. It's fucking brutal. So not playing with friends is extremely rough.
Just to build on that argument too, Joe, I've seen where I've been with only AI players,
Yeah.
they won't even turn around to shoot a ridden until it has already hit them once.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like that's annoying to watch.
Sometimes the AI is OP, and sometimes they do really dumb shit.
Yeah.
So it makes it very tough sometimes. You know, like I want to play this game more than I can play this game. Not that like I can't physically play it, but because like I have 2 hours of free time, but nobody's on.
Yeah. Yeah. Because random suck and AI sucks.
Yeah.
You're waiting for friends.
Yeah, you're just waiting for friends. So I'm just gonna play a different game, and which sucks because I want to play Back 4 Blood.
Yeah.
Especially since the grind is really real. I don't know if we touched on that. But
Yeah,
like
the grind.
to get
The
everything,
grind is
Yeah.
fucking real.
Yeah.
I mentioned you
yeah.
have to grind.
So that makes me a little bit torn on this game. So that's my final thoughts.
I gotta look up the fucking chart.
Oh, I already have it open.
Oh, dope. Can I just borrow that?
Here. Just hand it back to me before we start giving actual scores.
Folds this way, right?
It's one of those quad phones, right?
It's like one of those.
Hey, look what I made.
Made a fucking cootie catcher out of Joe's Samsung.
Pick a number, Joe.
Oh God.
Yeah, fuck those things.
BLUE. Faggot.
You're gonna die alone.
I should pick a number. Stop crying like a bitch.
Oh, you're gonna marry Tommy Larson. Ew.
Who's Tommy Larson?
Yeah, well, no. Sounds like Steve has the hots for him, though.
He has cooties. No, he has herpes. It's different.
It was Steve's kindergarten crush. Tommy Larson.
Yeah, when I was in 6th grade.
And he was in kindergarten.
Fucking yikes. Harry?
You want me to do my score?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Harry, fine.
I'm gonna give
wait,
this.
Hold on.
Wait, no.
Let's fucking
Flashbang our way.
let's flashbang our way into fucking scores.
Hell yeah.
Fucking bang it into Flash. Go
Harry,
ahead, Harry.
go.
You're all about that.
The score.
All right, I'm going to give this game an 8.0. Let's ramble off some that tie with that. Mass Effect, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, BioShock, Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
I think we get the idea.
Yeah, we get
Yeah.
Boom.
Now fold
Duck
fold
Dynasty.
Joe's phone
8.0.
like a hamburger bun and hand it back to him.
Supposed to go hot dog, not hamburger. Son of a bitch.
I got it. Nope, it's going. It's just a little stuck.
Got it. You slid on it, grab a screw. Come on.
Steve?
This is gonna have to get an A for me. I can't look at it any other way. And I was teetering B plus, but no, it's A.
Nice.
Yeah. For tall boys. The mutation and the drink.
Clark?
I think this is a buy. I'm hesitant, and if you're hesitant on if you would like a game like this, wait for a sale. I'm not going to say this is a must buy for everybody, but I think it's a buy for myself.
Boom. Shakalaka. Is it the shoes? He's on fire.
Cool. So for my score, I'm going to give it a 95.
Nice.
I think it's really far up there in its current state. I can't judge what they're like if they fuck something up. Like I can't judge that.
No. You
But
judge
in
it
its, in
as
its
you
current
get it. Yeah.
state, I would give it a 95. I really enjoyed this game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. There aren't many flaws. I mean, we've pointed out a few, but they're easily look passable. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the flaws that we have mentioned, they're gonna fix.
Yeah. Well, you know, your
Most
mutation
of them,
thing,
most of
whatever.
them, yeah.
But there's like some that are like genuinely flaws that can be fixed, and some are like just flaws that are more towards like learning aspects and things of that nature. I'm like I said, 95.
Yeah. No, it always. I always have this thought, like when we review very, very new games. What if we waited a year and reviewed it? How would our review have turned out at that point? And this could be one of those games where a year from now it could be a lot different.
It's true.
Maybe we take a Mubbers and go back and do a couple.
No, because then we'd have to do all the other.
Just ones that we reviewed when they came out.
Yeah, that'd be
was like-
interesting.
Actually, that would be.
I think it's like
5 or
3.
6 games,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think it's like 3 games.
Because we'd have to
like
talk No Man's Sky because we did that right when it was brand new. We did.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yes.
Yep.
I thought that came out in like June of that year.
It was only like maybe 2 months.
Yeah. No, we did it real fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe. It's an idea. All right. Well, hey, thanks, everybody, for tuning in on this adventure for Blood to get back to.
Yeah, where the fuck does the name come from? Back for Blood. Like, Left 4 Dead I get. Like, you're out there. You're alone. You're Left 4 Dead.
You're Left 4 Dead.
They came back for some blood.
But this time they
Maybe
came back
the
for
Back
blood.
for Blood is like, you're in town, but you're going back out.
Yeah, for blood.
And maybe that kind of fits.
Maybe.
Because Left 4 Dead, again, the story kind of thing, and like, it kind of worked. Where, like,
Similar to
you were
Ballroom
trying
Blitz.
to survive.
They were like, okay, so we're going to put a 4 in the middle, and then we're going to build out from there.
Honestly, yes.
Back for
Blood!
God damn it, Johnson, you're a fucking genius. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Stay lovely.
Stay sexy.
I love you guys. Come back in 2 weeks for our retrospect of Game Boys.
Stay safe.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media and all streaming platforms at Superfun Podcast for more episodes. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend about us and consider becoming a Patreon member for more exclusive content.